early on and you're not already established, she has to help you, bro. Like even in this day, hey, bro, having a one income household is tough, bro. I don't know what these women are thinking, bro. Like you want the man to take care of the house, take care of you, go on trips 2-3 times a year, buy you all the stuff, save money and invest with whose money? How you gonna do all that? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't, and I'm not going to no 50-50 conversation.
Right,
I'm not doing it, and I don't believe in that neither. But I'm saying if I'm a man and I'm taking care of the mortgage, household, can we invest with your money? Can we travel on maybe with your money? Because how we gonna build wealth and take care of a family if it's all on me?
Yeah. The easiest way to get rich today is by the dual income method. If the average Black American make like $45K a year, something like that, you get a man. Let's say he make $45K a year. Yeah. Y'all immediately at 90. Yeah. You know how life-changing that is? You could breathe now. You probably could take more PTO. For sure. Or take more vacations. Or say, you know what? This job didn't stress me the hell out for the past year. I want to take a break from work for 2 months and find a new job. You can't do that when it's just you on 45K. Because if you take that break, you're going to be out on the street homeless.
Nah, facts.
So when I be seeing people talk about that, like, man, I need X, Y, and Z, I'll be like, bro, y'all getting finesse. Y'all ain't gonna never fuck wealth. Y'all ain't gonna never have financial stability, period. Because the cost of living is just keep going up.
It's too high.
It's way too high for a single person on average income to survive in this economy. That's just flat out.
Yo, he's not lying. That is so true. Now, I don't know what's going on currently where people think that a man or a woman in some cases, all right? Let's not act like it's only men. But in this particular case where men are the ones that handle everything in the household financially, and then they get called weak if they're not able to. Now, I'm fortunate enough where every relationship that I've been in, and currently I am married, so hopefully it's my last relationship that I'm going to be in, that everything was combined. We took care of everything together because we are together. We're a unit. And it's not my money, her money. Even though, psychologically and realistically, it is true. My money is my money. Her money is her money. Obviously, I'm going to work. I'm trying to strive. I'm trying to get my raises or whatever. That's more of a personal thing for me. But when it's all said and done, when we come back home, we combine our income and we do things not only based upon what we think. There's times when my wife wants to do things that she wants to do. Well, then she could, we could put money aside, or she could say, you know what? I'm putting my piece of my income already into the pot. I'm going to save some for me for whatever the case may be. I'm going to go ahead, do you, because you work. You deserved it, right? I didn't do anything for that money. I'm with you because this is love. And we're trying to build together certain things. But our whole life is not going to be predicated about just paying bills and doing everything as far as like building wealth and doing everything and not having fun and just cutting back and asking for permission. No, that's not what life is all about. And but at the same time, for me, like for example, I do YouTube videos and the money that I get from it, and I put in all the work. I don't see it as just my income. I see it as an our income, right? If I'm trying to build, if I'm trying to save, if I'm trying to invest, it's for us. It's not for me, right? I'm doing it for us. I'm not doing everything just for myself. And I'm not going to put the burden on myself. Now listen, this is my second marriage, okay? My first marriage, that's exactly what happened. I took responsibility of a majority of the finances, especially with the budgeting. And I was just entrusted to just handle everything. And when things weren't working, it was always a fight with, well, I hate working for paying bills. Well, listen, if we're broke, we're broke. I shouldn't be the only one to feel the stress of the brokenness just because you don't want to look at it, you want to avoid it. Now, I understand money is stressful, and some people are good at budgeting, and some people are good at investing, and they know about financial literacy or whatnot. But I think it's really, really important to pick a partner that's on your same level or higher. That way you can learn from them with as far as investing and building wealth and striving and being ambitious. But if you have this one person that handles everything, the finances, and pays for everything, then in my opinion, if that person leaves, what are you going to do? Right? What are you going to do in your financial world once that other person leaves? You're not going to know about the passwords to the account. You're not going to know about the budgeting. You're not going to know about everything. Listen, I'm once again, he said the same thing too. It's not about 50-50. It's about just being responsible and to try to build wealth together. That's it. Doesn't mean that, one person makes more, so he makes all decisions. Nah, man. That's not the way it is. You want to try to make things as equal as possible, because some things you do in a relationship is non-monetary, right? Like if someone likes to cook, they cook, right? You can't have two people cooking. One person cooks, and one person likes to clean, do a better job, do a better job. There's always certain things that somebody in a relationship does a better job in. That's not always money. It's a unit. You move together. That's my opinion.
I was young and single and trying to build from ground zero, I would be, getting my information, building up, but I would find somebody that's ideal, think like me. Obviously somebody I'm attracted to. I can see somebody, if you're already in a relationship with this person, cool, you already there.
Yeah.
And then if they make 50, I make 50, we sitting down, yo, look, I'll pay all the bills. I'll do everything. You save all your money. We're going to put this in an investment account. We're going to work. We're going to do this for 5 years. Your 50 bands, we're going to save all of it for 5 years. Over 5 years, how much is that? What, 250?
250.
You put that in an investment account, it ain't going to be 250 no more.
Yeah.
It's going to be over 300.
Yeah.
And y'all, let's say you start this at 21. This by the time you 26.
Yeah.
Y'all got 300 bands.
Yeah.
That's simple.
I won't go as far as saying that's simple. That is not that simple to meet someone at the age of 21 to be on that level, right? Because once you're 21, man, you want to go out, you want to start balling, you want to do stuff in life, and that's usually the age where you mess up a whole lot, and that's your learning, right? That's your learning stage. You start learning about financing and budgeting. To get someone at the age of 21 to put 50 bands on the side for 5 years, and then by the time you got to 26, you could make all these moves. That's not that realistic. You're not going to meet someone that says, you know what, my man pays for all the bills. All I do is take my whole damn check and invest in it, even though we're not married. And then 5 years from now, it's ours. Now that's not gonna fly. I already know it's not gonna fly. Because number one, as the man, you're putting yourself in that risk. Or woman, like I said, be man or woman, you're putting yourself at risk, because what if after 3 years they stacked up, I don't know, 150 bands? Then you turn around and like, you know what, relationship is not working, because obviously, people break up. Now they get to walk away with 150 grand while you're there paying all the bills the whole time and you get nothing from it, right? So that strategy is not a simple strategy, if you ask me. Listen, just find the right person, build with them, incorporate their income, and your budget, your plan, your method is all gravy, right? As long as you're doing stuff together and you're not having this whole separation of finances and one person is struggling and one person is striving, that's just weird, right? That's just weird to be in a relationship where it's like, I make all this money, I could travel, I could spend money on all these things, and just because you have the salary you have, nah, man, you can't come along with me. You got to handle it yourself. It's not how it works, man. People just fail to recognize the reason why they get to a certain point in life, especially if you are with a significant other, whether a man or female, as far as like, you would get ahead because of the small things that they did, the sacrifices they did. Like your partner might be the motivating factor for you to get that income, for you to start that business or whatever the case may be. And like I said, it's a two-way street. A man can motivate his girl, and a girl can motivate his man. But without that significant other, you're not going to build. You're just not going to build unless you have that person in your life that's really positive, that's pushing you forward. But this whole, a man takes care of everything, nah. Because listen, if a man does everything, then he could just get up and he could just leave. He thinks he could do whatever he want to do. And I would think as a female, why would you want to be in that position where it's like, he don't need me, right? He could do what he wants to do. If you have your opinion about money, he might not listen. And I know what you're going to say, well, then I don't want to be with a person like that. But you're not going to find a lot of people that doesn't want to be in a relationship strictly based upon the fact of they handle all the business, because to them that's like a transaction, right? It's all transactional. There's no building, no nothing. It's a separation, which is really unfortunate. But anyway, guys, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think, because this relationship and money conversation is a really, really spicy one. Hit the like, subscribe, and catch you guys in my next video. Peace.